girls, children of all ages, wrestling fans, and sports entertainment fans. Welcome to the No Shave Man Cave. I'm Ellie Jair.
I am Jay Tilly, kicking it
What?
old school.
Got the trios.
Ooh yeah,
Yo.
trio Saturday night. We had a good show tonight.
Yowza. Man.
Old school style because we're trying to get going live after these big shows Monday and Wednesdays, and had some technical difficulties on the other side with our buddy El Editor. So kicking it old school, but we're gonna go through and do a quick 15, hopefully maybe 20-minute recap of the show and talk about everything we saw and what is coming. So we start the show off with the update on Hook. He's going to be out due to injury. If you saw what happened, he got a concussion, it looked like, last week. So obviously that took him out. He wasn't cleared to go. However, the ops say they are still going to be there for the match. So curious to see who it is going to be at the end of the night. And we'll see that coming up for sure because it led to a surprising ending, I will say, to the show.
Oh, yeah.
I was a little surprised. Before we get into the first match, though, man, dude, this arena and this setup was mwah, gorgeous. The 3 tier, it looks so good.
Yeah. I like, I was sort of 50-50 on the way they did the ramp and everything.
Uh huh.
But the way the ramp played into the Athena Monet match,
Yep.
dude, I am pro ramp. I think AEW has really found a really cool groove.
Yep.
You have, oh man, the crowd was into it, and Monet was feeling herself with that home cooking and that crowd. But yeah, spot on, dude. Like you said, the the 3 tiers and like
Yep.
this is what AEW said. Like this is exactly what AEW said they were gonna do,
Mm-hmm.
and now they've sort of righted. They've the ship is now
Right.
sailing in the right direction.
And I
So
think the key thing is they stopped trying to go for these huge, massive arenas to compete with WWE.
yeah,
I think these smaller arenas definitely fit their style and what they're capable of doing.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
kudos to that. I thought it looked good. I was very impressed with it. And you already kind of hit it. The first match was Athena versus Mercedes Monet. Uh, good, if not great match. I thought Athena was sharp
Oh
and looked
yeah,
good in this match. Mercedes had a couple hiccups, but it is what it is. Um, there were definitely a couple times in this match where I went, "Oh my god!" And one of them was Mercedes. I guess it was Athena running for a spear and Mercedes sidestepping her, and that splat Athena made up against the barricade was woof. And then the reverse of it, Monet gets shotgun drop kicked into the LED boards and breaks them for the rest of the night.
yeah. And
Uh,
the board shut off.
yep,
I was
yep,
like,
shut off, and we're done
dude.
the rest of the night. Impressive stuff. Both those
Yeah,
things were a great back and forth. The end it comes with Athena attempting the O face, but Mercedes reverses it into a pin. However, something we don't normally see in AEW is she grabs the tights, gets the 1, 2, 3. Ooh,
yeah,
nope, she gets the 1, 2, 3. No, ooh, sorry, one, two,
yeah.
three, and pins Athena's first loss. Well, I
Well,
guess technically her only loss in AEW, second loss, her first loss in AEW, but she's only been 1-1. So,
yeah.
but
So first singles pin, she was 64-0.
that's what I was looking for. Yeah,
864 days as champion. You're forever champion in ROH. Um, yeah, Athena looked amazing. Like physically, she just looked like the best. I think this is the best I think she's ever looked.
agreed.
And yeah, like you said, there were a couple of spots where it looked like they weren't necessarily helping each other, and Monet may not especially at that point in the ring, she may have just ran out of a little bit of gas because
Yeah.
the
Oh
pace
yeah.
they were at, dude, that was a really really good match, a lot of fun,
Yep.
and shout out to Monet. She's whew, yeah,
Still undefeated. I'm curious if Tony Storm's gonna be the one to hand her first L. We shall see as
wow,
it comes closer because I think she's
yeah,
gonna beat. either it's Stat or whoever is in the final with her. I think she'll end up beating because I think it'll
Yeah.
be Monet and Tony Storm at All In. Then we get a
Interesting.
backstage segment. Hangman is getting ready to talk to drawing a totally Renee Paquette,
Renee. Yeah.
and the Elite walk up. I should say the Young Bucks and Okada walk up. Basically say, hey, they interrupted and swerved
So
just
funny.
for Hangman,
Yeah.
and they did it for him. Swerve never deserved it. Kind of sounds like something I said on a show that might be coming out soon that I got a lot of crap for. But anyway,
May or may not.
uh, and you can kind of see by Hangman's face, he's like, whatever. And as he walks away, you see, um, sorry, my screen's acting up here.
Yeah. Freaking Okada.
Yeah. Yeah, as he walks
Dude,
away,
he had me rolling tonight.
Okada goes, "Why are you so mad? You should smile more." And he turns his back and he goes, "Bitch." And with that, it's on. It was yeah, it was a trip, man. I love Okada. I love what he's doing right now. But yeah, short segment. Not a whole lot to it. I think there's probably going to be more as we get along going on. What did you think?
I thought kind of like what you were saying that there's, and I'm sure they said things in the interview or in this short segment that if you were to go back, there's some Easter eggs in there or whatever.
Yep.
The whole being the elite and stuff, harkening back to back when we were best friends, that kind of a thing. But yeah, the addition of Okada and you should smile more,
Yeah.
like this, man.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. Good to see the Young Bucks, and as the show progressed, I'm even more hopeful now that they're back because of how the show progressed and stuff.
Told you so.
And hey, shout out to the writers. Who's ever really pulling the strings right now,
Mm-hmm.
especially as we have the draft coming up, and once that NFL draft kicks in, Nick Khan, or I'm sorry, Tony and
Yep.
Shad, and the Jags, and all that thing, on top of the team having to find other places to practice
Yep.
and play their games and stuff. So yeah, who's ever making the magic happen,
Keep doing
they
it.
get a gold star, man. It's
Yep.
been a lot of fun.
This leads right into our second match of the night, which is another Owen Hart match, and it is Hangman versus the Wild Card. And out of all the predictions I made, this is not the one I said.
Yeah.
Making his debut was Josh Alexander, is now All Elite.
Wow.
Comes out to face Hangman in a really good, hard hitting match. Worth a watch if you haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
Worth checking out. Ends up with Hangman getting the win over Josh Alexander. Again, very surprised. I don't know why I didn't think of him. I know the rumors were out there that he had joined. I guess I just forgot. I guess I was too hopeful about being Danielson, but whatever. It is what it
Right.
is.
Yeah.
What did you think of the match, man?
I thought the match was really good. Great to see the walking weapon in a wrestling ring, and I'm glad he didn't go to the WWE because
Yep.
I don't think that product would have translated. And then along with the ear situation,
Yep.
they would have been like, yeah, you're not wearing that. So that may have been a item of contention or whatever. But thought the match was really good. Hanger hit his spots. I thought there were a couple spots outside the ring. I was like, woof. So, but then after the match, woof.
Well,
But
yeah, I was just going to get
what'd
into
you
that.
think? What'd you think of the match?
So I thought the match was good. I was surprised that Alexander in his debut took the loss. However,
That's a good point. Yeah.
in one of the big surprises, the first surprises of the night, it kind of corrected itself, I thought, because as the matches ended, out comes Kyle Fletcher, because obviously it'll be Kyle Fletcher versus Hangman as the next round, and they give
Yeah.
a stare down. They end up getting into a fight in out of the ring and then back into the ring, and Hangman gets the better of Kyle Fletcher. He's giving him a stare down as he's sitting outside the ring. And as they're doing that, you see Don Callis talking to Josh Alexander, and Josh Alexander jumps in the ring and turns heel and beats down Hangman. So
Yeah.
I guess he's part of the Don Callis family. Awesome. I'm down for
Yeah.
that. I think it's cool. I was wondering how they're going to fit him in, so I think that worked really well.
Yeah.
And it worked into the finish to where I didn't feel like, wait, we just debuted him for nothing. We
Right.
debuted him, but he also jumped Hangman. He's part of Don Callis, so now they could build that story going forward.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good point too, because generally when wrestlers or sports entertainers debut, you'll see some vignettes and they'll
Yep.
put some money behind them, and then or like with Kyle Fletcher, how they completely repackaged him, and a couple of people have compared him to a Randy Orton for AEW.
Mm.
Now he'd have to remove some of the risky moves that he does and stuff and the screaming. But if outside of that, I mean, I think, uh, I think Kyle Fletcher, Josh Alexander, um, if they don't end up winning singles titles, they'd be a very formidable tag team. But I know they both have their eye on singles gold
Singles,
because
yeah.
Kyle's a former Ring of Honor World TV champion,
Yep.
and then Josh Alexander. If you haven't ever seen him, he's been in TNA for the longest time. Had his ear reattached a few years ago, and then he had a fusion surgery, and he didn't start really hitting his stride until after the fusion surgery. So, 2 or 3 time former TNA champion. Great to see him, and yeah, like you said, it's good that they didn't waste the L. It and it it, it played out really well for
Yeah.
him to be able to come out looking strong. So
Yep. Agreed. Then we roll into Christian Cage making his return in a
yeah.
backstage segment. Says he took the last month off just to see what Nick Wayne would do, and then tells Nick Wayne that he got him into the Super Junior I forget what it's called.
Yeah.
Their junior heavyweight tournament, which is cool, and that he's going to start him on his winning ways starting next week in a match on Dynamite. We go from that to Hurt Syndicate versus Gates of Agony. I like this match a lot. I wish that it built up Gates and Agony more because I think this
Yeah.
could have been a really fun ongoing feud. Um, but obviously, Hurt Syndicate win in a decent match. Nothing big that came out of it. We'll go over the after match after I get your opinion on the show on the match itself and the Christian Cage part because I know you're a Christian fan.
Yeah, it was great to see Christian Cage back. I thought it was, it was good to see him and his words that he used. It's, to me anyway, it's clear what's going to happen. I'm not going to,
Yep.
tip my hand or whatever, but it's very clear what's going to happen. The match, like you said, I wish they could have gotten in some more of their tandem tag team moves
Mm-hmm.
just to show how strong they are as a tag team to make them you if you're not making someone in a match, you're basically just wasting your time in the ring.
Right.
And yeah, the Hurt Syndicate got the win, but it was against a really good big tag team. Had they exchanged some big moves, and I think
Yep.
it could,
But
like you said, it
even
could have built
yeah,
them up.
even MVP said on the commentary that he wants to see more of them on TV. So,
Yeah,
maybe that was a hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
yeah,
End of the match, though, they're celebrating. MJF music hits. He comes in and basically says, "Hey, I still want to join you guys, and let me show you what I can offer."
hmm
And brings out a bunch of women to tempt them. Tells them that he gives Shelton Benjamin his watch. He's just trying to get those 3 thumbs up. Insults Bobby Lashley a little, who gets mad. And I still am curious how they're going to go with this. I hope we're going to get a Bobby Lashley versus MJF match out of it.
mm,
And maybe the Hurt Syndicate turn and Bobby Lashley leaves and Shelton and MJF continue on. I don't know.
mm.
Fun stuff, though. We'll see what happens with this.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, MJF is really good. MVP is exceptional. You didn't hear Bobby talk at all. Shelton talked a little bit of smack, got the watch at the end, but MJF still did not get the desired 3 thumbs up,
Yep.
and still the Hurt Syndicate left with the ladies and
Yep.
Beantown and Bob. So yeah, it. I like it. I like what's happening, and how like what is the payoff? I can't see. I can't see what the payoff is, but when it
Me
happens, I'm
neither.
gonna be like, dude, why didn't I see that?
Yeah. I think any way it goes, it's going to end up turning out to be pretty good.
Yeah,
Then we've
absolutely.
got which I swear was Tony Khan saying, WrestleMania what? I'm going to show you the match of the week.
Oh
Man,
man.
Will Ospreay versus Takeshita. Good gosh, I could watch these guys wrestle hours at a time. This was a fantastic match. 10 out of 10 in my book. It
Yeah.
was so many oh my god moments. Just from move to move. If you don't watch anything on Dynamite and you just kind of watch recaps and reviews to see what you should check out, this is a match worth checking out.
Yeah.
Uh, just, I feel like I say it every time I say Will Ospreay, but just a fantastic match. And Takeshita and him have good chemistry. Yeah, man. Will Ospreay ends up with the win in
Yep.
what was a crazy counter via non-counter back and forth. And I totally love this match. It's already on my rewatch list. Hell, could be match of the year contender in my list. Like we'll see where it goes. But I'm sure you've got some WWE brain comments to make on it.
Yeah, I mean, you are spot on. This was absolutely the best match of the week. And the only thing that I can say, and this isn't negative about the match, it's AEW. It's sell your moves so it it makes your move set more impactful. So your setup and your
All
finisher,
right, Bully
and
Ray.
but other than yeah, Uncle Bully, I'm praying here, but yeah, I outside of that, like spot on. It was yeah. Will
Great
Osprey.
match.
I got nothing. I can't
Yeah,
say anything else. Yeah,
great match. And I really do. I think it was TK going, "Hey, I want you guys to go out there and put on a match because I want come Sunday after WrestleMania for them to go. I still think that AEW match was the better match,
yeah,
because it was good. Not that I'm saying that WrestleMania coming up they can't top it with something with the feeling,
yeah,
but as far as just crazy in ring match, man, that was crazy.
yeah.
Then we get the main event of the night, which was the Ops versus the Death Riders. Um, so Death Riders are out in the ring. The Ops music hits. It looks like it's going to be just Samoa Joe and Shibata, and then Will Hobbs joins them. Good pickup. I'm down
Yeah,
for this. Will Hobbs and the Ops. Now, no offense to Hook, but this looks like a team like, oh crap.
yeah.
Match goes back and forth. Have some of the shenanigans that happen to be going on in all of Moxley's matches lately. Marina Shafir uh, gets involved, which leads Willow to come out. Then the Young Bucks come out, which was cool, and I was curious
Oh,
what they're going to do. And then Swerve jumps them. Great
yeah,
stuff. Swerve has said, "Hey, open Buck season. I'm going to take out the Bucks anytime I see them," and that's what he did. Takes out the Bucks. And in the midst of all this, Claudio gets choked out by Shibata outside the ring. Wheeler Yuta has been taken out due to a power bomb on the table by Hobbs. And in what I just baffles me was Mox getting choked out by Samoa Joe. I'm okay with the Ops winning it. I appreciate that. The locker room clears out to celebrate them. Ops win. They're your new absolute trios champion. Good stuff. Good direction to go. Let's start taking it off of the Death Riders.
yeah,
I just did not agree with Mox being the one being choked out, especially after everything he's been through lately and looking all invincible.
yeah. And he's gonna have a championship match. You have Swerve Strickland out there. Um, he- like it wouldn't have. Yeah, I mean Wheeler
Yep. Yeah.
getting tapped, like that just seemed the most obvious. And
Could have absolutely done the power bomb on Mox and had him sell
yeah,
outside and choked out Yuta instead.
100%.
I
So
mean, unless they're setting up for Joe to say, "I'm coming after you, Mox. I choked you out," and then maybe that'll be the double or nothing program for
mm,
Moxley before
wow,
All In. Um, yeah, it was just
wow,
a strange thing for me. But we'll see where it goes.
yeah,
I think Mox again suffered from following a Will Osprey match
yeah,
because that match was a little bit of a letdown. But that's all right. I'm down for it. I was here for it. I enjoyed it. I did not expect the title change, so that's a bonus for me, which
oh yeah,
I know in my book is a little tick up. I gave this Dynamite for what it was, breaking the record on TBS and everything. I actually went with 4.5 beards on this one. I really enjoyed this show.
wow. Okay, yeah, and I don't hate you for it. Again, hey, shout out to AEW. They are the longest. reigning, defending, undisputed TBS TNT
Yep.
wrestling show. And Eric Bischoff even said, "Hey, kudos to Tony, for being able to keep it going." And great show. You gave it 4.5 beers. I'm not even mad at it with the title change. If Tony was doing the editing, I would say 4.25. But
Just to mess with him.
yeah, but I definitely gave it 4 beers. The crowd was great from start to finish, opening up with Monet,
Yep.
ending with the title change, the flow of the show. All the wrestlers looked great. And, fortunately, it didn't look like anyone got hurt and everybody's going to be able to go home. So,
Yeah.
boom, nice job, AEW. Great job, Boston. And shout out to the boys and girls in the locker room for AEW. Great show.
Yeah, and like Brent says in our chat right now, and I agree, AEW's on fire right now. If you look at where
Yeah.
WCW was for Nitro and all that at this point, it was hurting, and now it's kind of, I feel like AEW's on an upswing. Great show. With that, we're going to wrap this up. Again, we're going to start trying to go live on these shows Monday and Wednesdays so you can catch our live reactions and recaps. We're going to try to keep them within 20 minutes, if less. We'll try to condense it a little more
Yeah.
as we get better at doing this. But please make sure you like, share, subscribe. Check us out wherever you get your social media. NSMC underscore podcast on Twitter and Instagram. No Shave Man Cave on Facebook. If you want to get some merch like this hat, some
Boom.
t-shirts we got out there, noshavemancave.com. And yeah, that's all I got, brother. It's time for that hot tag and you to take us
Hey,
home.
yeah, brother. Hey, we also have No Shave Man Cave underscore title belts. Come check us out if you're interested in a title. If you can think it, we can make it from beginning to end. It's about a 2-week process from the time we decide what your final design is going to be till you're wearing it to a show. And if you wear it to a show, you better be prepared to defend it. But no, good stuff, man. Thanks for joining us. We have a few people in the chat room. Very cool. To everybody who's been following us and giving us the love. I got recognized today. I was wearing a No Shave Man Cave T-shirt, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Nice.
So thank you so much for the love. Kid from New York. Never thought he'd be able to do anything in professional wrestling, but I'm kind of on the peripheral, enjoying the show. So keep doing what you do. Like JT said, like, share, subscribe. Keep checking us out here in the No Shave Man Cave. Until next time, thanks for joining us. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other, and we'll see you on the floor.